Have you ever wanted to have a theme park in your very own home? Well, I think I can get you pretty close. Stick around if you want to know more. Welcome everyone to Get Your Game On, the channel dedicated to immersive gaming experiences. I just had to share an amazing experience and a revelation that I recently had. So Brent and I just got back from a quick getaway to Disneyland in California. And while I was there riding all the awesome rides like Star Tours and Smuggler's Run on the Millennium Falcon and all that good stuff, I actually had a revelation that I really wanted to share with everybody. So if you've ever been to Disneyland, you know how the deal works. You basically stand in line for 45 minutes to an hour, and then you take about a 5-minute ride. And while I was on Star Tours, there's actually a part where R2-D2 does a roll in the spaceship. And when that happened, it struck me that my DOF Reality H6 gives me almost the same experience that I just waited in line for. And I guess I'd never really compared it before, because the last time we were at Disneyland, I had just got the H6 and I hadn't used it a lot, but lately I've been doing a lot of testing with it. And I just started to notice, it's like this thing gives me basically almost the same experience at my home that I was getting on the rides at Disneyland. Then when we started doing other rides, for example, the Millennium Falcon, Smuggler's Run, that felt very, very similar to everything I experienced when I'm doing sims in this thing. I couldn't find any specs on it, but looking how the mechanism works, it's very similar. And so this footage is from Amusement Labs. You can see this is how the simulator works on the Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run ride. And then we went on Indiana Jones, and all the jostling and all of that was similar to what it feels like when I race in this rig. And so it just struck me how fortunate I am to be able to have those experiences in my very own home. And I'm so thankful to DOF Reality for even making it possible for someone like me to be able to get one of these and enjoy it whenever I want. Now, obviously it's not quite the same. You don't get any of the G-forces like on the Indiana Jones ride. I really got to thinking about Star Tours after that experience, and I went, well, I wonder how much motion they have. So I went out on the internet and I found a video from Janvier, but you can see the Star Tours rig, it's basically a bigger version of this thing. And it will pitch about 35 degrees, whereas this will do about 17. So you're getting actually still half the movement out of this rig that's in your house as opposed to Disney's $1 million simulator that they have for Star Tours. You can get one of these for around $8,000, and if you're interested, you can even get one for as low as like $2,000 to get your base model like an H2. And the experience you'll have in there is still pretty dang good. And in the day and age where video cards are starting to cost $2,000 and up, it might not be a bad idea to look at getting a motion platform if you're really into this. And the reason I really wanted to make this video is because, like me, there's probably a lot of you out there that are going, man, I'd really like that, but is it really worth the money? Is it really that good? And so if you're in that situation, I'm here to tell you it's very similar to a lot of the experiences that you're going to have at Disneyland. Hopefully that'll give you some sort of sense of what you can expect from one of these. In a lot of aspects, this is actually better than some of the rides in Disneyland because this is moving such a lighter weight, it doesn't have that big rig on top, it can actually respond even quicker than a lot of those big ones. Those big ones have a lot of motion, but they move kind of slow. This thing can jostle you around really quickly. And the other thing is, you can tune this to your own liking versus you can't do that at Disneyland. So if you want it to be more aggressive, you tune it to be more aggressive. If you want it to be a little bit more mellow, you make it mellow. And in addition to that, you can do so much with one of these. As you've seen on the channel lots of times, you can do flight. You can do racing. You can do space sims like Squadrons, or even a space sim like Elite Dangerous, which is incredible. Elite Dangerous, when I leave the space station, I always think about rides at Disneyland. That's exactly what it reminds me of. And Elite Dangerous has such a great experience. Let's say you're flying around in deep space and you go into an asteroid field. You can do asteroid field mining, and there's so much immersion that when you blow up a giant asteroid, you feel the concussion from the explosion in the rig along with everything else. So it's just incredible. Have you ever wanted to drive a big mech? Well, if you want to play Mech Warrior, it feels like you're in this giant behemoth of a mech walking around and stomping around. And so any vehicle you can simulate in one of these, and it just gives you an amazing experience. So that's why I say it's like having your own theme park sitting in your house. It's just an amazing, amazing thing. So for those of you that used to game on flat screens and then went to VR, the best way I can explain it to you is if you remember that jump in immersion and experience from going from the flat screen to VR, this does the same thing. VR did it for your eyes and your senses up here. This does it for the rest of your body. This gives you that immersive experience as you move and tilt and roll in whatever experience you choose to do. So if you're interested or if you're curious, let me tell you, a DOF Reality motion rig is just an amazing, amazing device. So that's what I have for you folks today. I really wanted to share with you the amazing experience that I had compared to this, having just gotten back from Disneyland. It was really eye-opening, and I am so thankful to DOF Reality. Thank you folks so much for watching. Thank you, DOF Reality, for making a rig like this that allows me to have these experiences. And I want to give a quick thank you to all my Patreons. I got to thank Alex Thomas. I got to thank Glenn Sims. I got to thank Dublin Lee and Daryl Graybeard, and of course, Danny Z for all your support. If you're interested in also supporting us on Patreon, we'd appreciate it very much. And if you could do that before November 1st, after November 1st, Patreon's changing their pay structure, and we're going to get even less from your Patreon donation. So if you do it before November 1st, you get grandfathered in, and we'll get to receive the current funding that we get now. So appreciate it. And even if you can't, we just appreciate you coming to the channel and watching our content. So thank you all for watching. And as always, until next time, remember to get your game on.